It's the activated new Brighton, the Futuritarian. This video is going to be on the plan to put the bees to extinction. Because when you're dealing with something that's small like that, see, even dealing with the nanos, when you're dealing with something small as a bee, right? You can't control that. You can't keep tabs on a bee because a bee serves a purpose, a futuristic purpose. The bees were placed here for a reason, to keep the goddamn ecosystem going. You trying to take that away, you ain't gonna be able to take that away. It ain't gonna work. Dealing with the bee population because they serve a purpose. Like you go do research. You go do research on the bee, on their stings, the little amount of venom that they have inside of them, right? If you go do research, you'll understand that some of that venom it cures certain things. That's when you go back to the Bible when they say the serpent's evil, the um and pushing that the reptilians is evil and all this stuff, man. That stuff goes back to the Bible, man. They're always gonna push something that doesn't resonate with them for them to stay in power, to keep power on the planet. You know, you got some of these teachers out here talking about some, oh yeah, the reptilians, this and that. It's like, you have the reptilian DNA in you. If you're a carbon coated being, you got some of the reptilian DNA in you. That's why when they go to when they go send their they get swabbed and they go send their DNA to Ancestry. It's like, man, this plan is deeper than what people think. When you go send your DNA to Ancestry, man, they can tell you any damn thing. Oh, you from you from Brazil, or your people are from Africa, West Africa, Nigeria, whatever. See, but that don't even make no sense. See, when you're dealing with these bodies that's being found, these grave sites, and they shut everything down. One thing why they shut everything down on these grave sites is because they already know 9 times out of 10, if that body is old, it's not going to be one of them. You got CSI, you got all this other stuff that deals with gathering evidence, depending on the grave site or depending where somebody's bones been found. But when you're dealing with some long archives, yeah, they're gonna shut it down because they already know, man. 9 times out of 10 is not them. So dealing with the DNA ancestry, they're always gonna pinpoint you to a country. When everything's not adding up, when they find these bones, it's not adding up, but they still pinpoint you to a country because they always want to keep you earthbound. They want you to keep you in this three-dimensional realm, this illusion, this goddamn circus with a whole bunch of animals. When you go to a circus, you go to a circus where you had the ringleader. Who was the ringleader? So-called white man. He's controlling all the animals. They've been doing this for so long, it's ridiculous, man. But dealing with these bees, see, that's why when you're dealing with nuclear energy, right? Artificial nuclear energy, because the nuclear bombs and the radiation that it shoots out, it's an artificial radiation. It's a light radiation. That's what it is. It's a light radiation. The organic radiation comes from the sun. That's why they call it the coronavirus, because they were calling the sun a virus. Right in front of you. That's the thing about mankind. They put everything in your face. They're calling the sun a virus. So you're dealing with the coronavirus. That's all it is. The sun's a virus to some people on the planet and not to all people, because that frequency and that radiation is going to still get shot through the atmosphere, and ain't nobody on this planet can do about it. Spraying crops with these chemicals, You know the thing about the bees? They're still maneuvering around that. They're evolving. The bees are evolving because they serve a purpose. They serve a futurism. These, you know the thing about the bees? The bees was here. The bees existed before this planet was made. Before this planet was made, man, the bees existed, man. You can't do nothing about it. Now you're dealing with the Japanese giant hornet, which is the murder hornet, and you know you got them. It evolved from the radiation of the atmosphere. I mean, of the nuclear bomb. It evolved, and what are they trying to do? They're trying to take over the bee colonies. But what did the bees do? The bees evolved past that. They might get one here and there. They might get, you know, the hornets might get one bee colony here, there, whatever. But then the bees are going to evolve because they serve a futuristic purpose for the future. The ecosystem. Artificial nuclear fusion. Should be used for energy, but there's no reason to use this energy. The only reason why nuclear bombs are put on this planet right now is to keep law and order on the planet, because every nation that's dealing with nuclear energy, they have to have a counter to keep everything in order. Because if one nation had nuclear weapons and the other nation did, then you can cause chaos and confusion with that. So you have to put a balance in it. That's why Russia got them. That's why the United States got them. That's why China got them. I think India got some too. The UK got some too, because it's a balance. Artificial nuclear energy. See, because this planet was supposed to already be green. It's not green. It's not going solar form. I broke down in one of my last videos dealing with the solar energy. See, the solar energy, when you're dealing with solar energy and you moving it and you have control of everything on a solar aspect, then you're going to have solar beings to ruin it. You're going to have solar beings to run it. Simple as that. That's just the way it is, man. That's why they're not going green. That's why everything, when you're dealing with your energy, you're dealing with your energy bill. Out here they got XL Energy. So you're dealing with that. You got to pay your bills, this and that. That's a form of order, which we understand why bills have to be paid, because it keeps order on the planet. Because there's certain stages to the evolution process of getting the right people in the seats. There's no way this planet is gonna move forward, man, if you don't get the right ones in the seats. And what are they doing? They don't want that. They don't want the right ones in the seats. That's why you're seeing this protests and the coronavirus, riots, George Floyd incident, all this stuff. Because in order for this planet to even evolve to go into the plasma stage, they got to put us in our seats. They don't want to do that. So then, you know what I'm saying, we're going to let the universe, the Galactical Council, do it. The intervention is here. There ain't nothing they can do about it. And, you know, they're dealing with, you know, they put it on the news, talking about the murder hornets and how they so focused on them. And, you know, they want to keep track on the murder hornets, this and that. But see, you know, that's the people that the people that actually are into, you know, the natural resources and stuff like that. They're actually trying to do that. But the murder hornets, they want them out here, because they want it to be unnatural. They don't want the pollen and all the vegetation to be spread on a balance equally through the planet. And see, that's why the bees are evolving. They're evolving. Just like we evolving, they evolving. They're not worried about murder hornets, because they're going to evolve and they're going to figure it out because they're going to work as a collective to kill them. And see, this is a sign from the universe. That's what this is. That's why this planet's not solar. The planet's not solar because solar beings will have to run it. That's why they're procrastinating with it. You think it's because of money. It don't have nothing to do with money. It's always been about power. Because when you got power, you got the money. The hell you going to be worried about money for if you ain't got no power? Doesn't even matter how much money you got. They need the power. The authorization is in effect. The transition. Pay attention. Pay what is the That's the Anunnakis, the Amens. The A, when you're dealing with the A and you're dealing with the alphabet, that's why it's at the beginning of the alphabet, because that's first. Then you got the B and the C. Why do you think they had the A first of the alphabet? Dealing with the crystals, dealing with the diamonds. Why do you think they got the A at the beginning of the alphabet? And like I was going to break down in one of these videos, I said, man, I was sitting here, I'm sitting down on my mentalization. Sitting down on my mentalization, man. I said, man, if this place, if the United States was to get invaded by another country or any other world powers, and I said, what will happen to the citizens? What will be the citizens' fate as far as the invasion goes? Some of them get hooked up to a lie detector test. Some of them just gonna get their phone snatched. They're gonna go through your phone, go through all your little stuff that you got in your phone, see if you even a factor for the future to even help move anything forward. And then the other ones are gonna get put in FEMA camps, and some gonna get put to death. That's why when you messing with intel, you ain't gotta worry about none of that. You ain't gotta worry about none of that when you serve a purpose in this lifetime, moving the planet forward into the future. That's why the bees, they serve a purpose. You got different type of bees. You got the killer bees. You got the honey bees. You got different type of bees, right, that serve a purpose to the ecosystem, to push the vegetation through. It's the same way when you're dealing with persons and you're dealing with people. If you serve a futuristic purpose, man, the future is always going to protect you. That's why I'm not worried about, man. When I go out and about, man, I'm not worried about nobody. Because when you see the future and you can see it, you can grasp it, and it's in your hands. You don't walk with fear. You walk with your head high. And you look people in their eyes. Because we dealing with intel. Information. Information just makes me just going backwards. That's all that do. That's why you're dealing with the galactical heartbeat, the universal heartbeat. There's a heartbeat. This the clock that ticks. Galactical heartbeat. So that's why, man. That's why these the artificial, dealing with the nuclear bombs and the radiation, the artificial radiation, because you got the artificial radiation and then you got the organic radiation, which is beaming through the atmosphere right now. The organic radiation is beaming through the atmosphere. right? And that's what they scared of. They scared of that intel that's beaming in through them electrodes, them electrons, that fusion, that plasma that's beaming in through the atmosphere right now. So that's what they fear. They don't fear the so-called black race. Never did. They fear power. They always feared power. That's all they fear is power. Now, when you're dealing with um, some of these, some of mankind, when you're dealing with them, and you got some people on the internet talking about the melanin, which is carbon. It's not melanin, it's carbon. But when they're dealing with that, they talking about, oh, they want your melanin, they want your organs, they want this and that. They don't want none of that, man, because all they want is power. Because when you have power, you can get that. You can get that. The ones that's going out here and snatching up, the so-called black race, this and that, man, that's the low-level ones, man. That's the low-level wannabe white supremacists that feel that they in power, but they really ain't got no power because they ain't a part of the situation on a massive scale. See, the ones on top, they got power. They don't have to go snatch nobody up. All they got to do is incubate them and grow them. That's the low level ones, man. That's the ones on the bottom. See, when you thinking on a power level, you think like how they think, but you think past how they think. You go past that. That's why they're always trying to take ideas. They always got their ears and their eyes out because they already know that the carbon coated beings is receiving their intel to move the planet forward. If you was to take, I'm not even talking about the black race. If you was to take all, because there's 4 stages. You got woke, you got religion, woke, conscious, and activated. If you was to take all 3 of those, not even religion, throw religion out. You was to take the woke, conscious, and activated ones, especially the activated ones. You was to take that and make them disappear right now, they will be in chaos and confusion because right now, even dealing with my videos, we moving the planet forward, and these people's watching these videos knowing that we moving the goddamn planet forward. They're like, damn, intel. You know what? I ain't never heard none of that, but it makes sense. You know what? Let's start doing research on that. Let's start, going to the scientists and doing this and doing that. Well, what he said. That's why I said, man, intel rules. There is nothing else. There's nothing else, man. People walking around with a mask on their face. Even sometimes I catch myself doing that shit. Like for real, man. I'm out and about, and I might go into a store or talking with some of my people, and might go into a store or come out their house, and I still got the mask on my damn face. And I'm like, man, take this. Pretty much almost crumble it up and just throw it. Because that's the situation that we're living in right now. When you going into these places, especially if you live in a city and you don't own no land, no big land or nothing like that, a farm or something like that, then you're really dealing with this mass stuff. There's nothing you can really do about it if you want to, go get you some food or go into society, and you gotta go into these stores and these corporations, and you gotta have your mask on your face. Yeah, sometimes I get stuck. I leave the store and I got my mask. I'm in the car driving with the mask on my face. Like, what the? I'm not pulling this stuff off, throwing it out the window almost. But see, that's the thing. Dealing with this coronavirus and all this little 5G and all this stuff right here, man. This stuff's gonna be it's evolution. That's all this is. That's all it is. So that's why the bees, they serve a purpose, man. They don't put the murder hornets out here. What they're trying to do is they're trying to evolve the murder hornets into straight massive bee killers. But see, that's when you're dealing with the artificial organic radiation. I mean, not artificial radiation that ain't organic. See the organic. See the bees. They done evolve and figure out how to kill the murder hornets, and they got mad about that. Oh, we gotta snatch them up. We gotta see this, that, because the bees, man, bees serve a purpose out in this world that a lot of people don't really realize. You know, the Chinese, the Chinese and some of the Western civilizations that put it out there, they know about the bees. They know about that light venom. That's why everything, man, you're dealing with venom. Venom kills a lot of stuff and it cures a lot of stuff. That's why you're dealing with the Bible when they say the serpent's evil and all this stuff, man. Because they don't want you to mess with the venom, man. You know, dealing with the copper-coated beans, man. What do you think that's in your mouth? What do you think that's your saliva is? Your saliva is a low form of venom. People talking about the reptilians, this and that. That's how I had to break that stuff down. When I told them, I said, man, look, when they fell from the upper dimensions and came down here, right? What was down here? Dinosaurs, right? What were they breathing? Oxygen. So what do you have to do? You mix your DNA with them so you can have beings on a planet that can breathe oxygen. Simple as that. You might go to a planet because that's how big the solar system is. People think that, dealing with, especially when you're dealing with these documentaries and dealing with NASA, and they always tell you, we're looking for water, we're looking for water, we're looking for water. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you're looking for water. The reason why they're looking for water is because they're looking for an oxygen-based intelligent being. See, they don't want to encounter no carbon beings. They don't want to encounter no what's that other gas that they methane, a methane being, a being that breathes methane. They don't want to encounter them because the frequency in the connection to those beings is going to be awkward. That's why they're always looking for H2O. They're always looking for water. Well, that's what they push. That's what they push, on these, the History Channel and these documentary channels and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? The purpose of the honeybee. How much, man, honey, lemons, limes, I was raised by my grandfather. I was raised with my grandfather and my grandmother. My mother was around, but I was mostly raised with my grandfather, right? They always used to say, you sick. They used to always be like, get you some honey, some organic honey, get you some limes, some lemons, make you a tea. You might want to put a little shot of brandy in there or, a shot of Hennessy or something up in there, make you a hottie toddy. And you know what's so funny? That stuff knocked that stuff out every time. Knocked it out every time. Rest in power, especially to my grandfather. I was connected to my grandmother too, but I was more connected to my grandfather. So, I just want to say rest in power because we resonate you. Best believe that. This is deeper than what people even can fathom in their minds. So dealing with the honeybees and the murder hornets. Hooking the murder hornets up to a microchip, GPS microchip, man. They looking for the honeybees, man, because they ain't never been about no nature. Mankind ain't never been about no nature, man. You look at their past. Look at, when they came out the damn caves. When they was created in the caves. And they came out slaughtering, coming down to Egypt with fleas and ticks on their neck. Hey, how can we get these off? Hey, well, look, we can get these off for you, but that's going to be 2 weeks of work. Sit down here and work for these 2 weeks to get all that stuff off of you. Okay, we'll work for 2 weeks. That's why they push Egypt as evil. Egypt, evil. Egypt is the same. Egypt was is the same thing as what today is going on. It's the same shit. People working and working their debt off. What's going on in the United States? People got debt. People working. People got credit cards. This, that. That's what Egypt was. Who you think they learned that from? It's a quick video on the bees. The bees serve a futuristic purpose because everything that I put out is futuristic. They serve a purpose on moving the planet forward for the ecosystem. It's the activated New Brighton, the Futuritarian. If you like the way the world is, don't like, don't share, don't subscribe. Peace, Quasar.